Dear students, about ad hoc and sensor networking, today we are going to discuss about the broadcast and multicast protocols. The broadcast and multicast protocols, and also we are discussing about the differences between the protocols. What are the differences between the protocols? That is comparison of protocols. Okay. So to discuss about the broadcast and multicast, that it is moreover the process is in packet sending the packets is send, receive, broadcast and multicast packets. The purpose is to send and receive the packets from sender to receiver, okay, from source to destination. Okay, so to consider the what are the difference between the broadcast and multicast. Okay, before that we will discuss, we just have a look about unicast, anycast, broadcast, multicast. What are the different IP addresses? As the IP address is indicated with 000.00, as you know that, and the differences, the different types of IP addresses are unicast, anycast, broadcast and multicast. What is unicast? Unicast 1. Okay, uni is 1, as you know. Binary is 2. Okay, trisary 3. So unicast is about identify one host. Anycast is for more than one host. Okay, broadcast is about more than one above host, but it is identified at all hosts. Okay, or nearby in a building, consider in a building, in a area like that. It is broadcasting is, it is about identify all hosts. Multicast, it is, as we studied about, it is one to one, one to many, many to many, many to one. Okay, so multicast is transferring the packets from different sources to different destinations. Okay, so broadcast and multicast, an area that is not well standardized. Systems from different vendors may behave differently when dealing with broadcast and multicast packets. May not work on WAN, that is wireless area networking. So this broadcast and multicast may not work in wireless area networking, but some equipment along with power may not support broadcasting multicast. That there should be a specific path should be there to use this multicast and broadcasting. Usually work on LAN. Okay, usually by using the Ethernet it will work on LAN and no router in between. There is no router in between by using this LAN for broadcasting and multicasting. Okay, so what is broadcasting? Broadcasting is nothing but it is the all host is employed in the transformation of the packets. Okay, so IP broadcast address. How the addresses will be there is IP addresses can logically be viewed as three components. What are the net ID, subnet ID, host ID? What is net ID, internet ID, and what is subnet ID, how it is communicated, and host ID, to whom it is receiving. Host ID, is it not? Suppose if a person want to receive, he is a host, so he also will have the ID, subnet ID and net ID. Okay, so when the host ID contains all 1 bits, that is 1. Okay, so the host ID will have the all ones, that is, as we know, zeros and ones will be there. So once all ones will be there, it is broadcast address. Let us denote all the 1 bits as 1. Okay, 1 bits as 1. Two kinds of broadcast addresses we have, that is subnet and limited broadcast. What is subnet directed broadcast address is subnet ID, that is subnet ID with a -1. Okay, that address of IP of subnet is subnet ID comma -1. Limited broadcast address, that is -1 -1, for example, or you can say that when you type to the IP address in the system, you can see 255.255.9.7. like that. Okay, so four numbers will be there. Broadcast to all machines in the local network. Okay. Router typically does not forward subnet directed broadcast addresses. Okay. Router typically is not forwarding the subnet directed broadcast address. Router should not forward limited broadcast address. Router also should not forward the limited broadcast addresses. Okay. So broadcasting Ethernet broadcast address. Ethernet broadcast address, that is broadcast address, that is ff.fff. Like that. All Ethernet cards recognize this address. Ethernet is using for the LAN. So Ethernet is identified with the ff.ff log. What happens when a broadcast packet is sent in a LAN? The packet will go up all the way to the IP layer on all machines. And what happens? Here it is implications. Ethernet switches must support broadcast. So what happens? That Ethernet is transmitting the packets, okay, so to the IP addresses, and Ethernet switches must support the many applications are built on top of it. Okay, so and ARP boot transmission, and these are the protocols will be initiated. This ARP, this automatic request protocol, and bootstrap protocol, and different protocols will be initiated to communicate with the protocols. Must emulate this capability. Okay, sending a broadcast message. Set the source identification broadcast option, that is set destination IP address, like 255.255.1.9 like that. And different system may behave differently. Different system will have the different IP addresses. Okay. And receiving a broadcast messages, it is nothing extra, it is how it is initializing. In the same way you can transfer and you can receive. So here it is an important point, that is be very careful when using broadcast. You might affect other people on the same network without knowing it. Whatever the packets are receiving to the destination end also will be received the others in the limited area of the affected people. Okay, that is the disadvantage of the broadcast. Multicast, as we discussed about yesterday, multicast is about from different users to different destinations. So in between, unicast sent to one and broadcast sent to all, and IP multicast address is 1110.log like that. These addresses are associated with a group of interfaces, and a host must explicitly join and leave a group. Host must be explicitly join, and if the things are finished, he can leave from the group. Ethernet multicast address is about, it is 1110, like 23 bits will be used. 23 bits will be used. Okay, so this is the implication of the multicasting. Okay, 01.00. Like that. Okay, this is for implication. Some special multicast addresses are like this. For all hosts, it is 224.1.0.1. Like 4 numbering IP addresses will be there. 224.0.0. All IP addresses are about 4-digit addresses. Sending multicast messages is about use sender to just treat to multicast. Use send is who is the receiver, that IP address we have to mention. To whom that information is received, that IP is we have to mention. Can control the number of hopes for multicast and packets by setting a IP multicast, that is TTL. Okay. Can avoid loop back by turning off. IP multicast under loop. Okay. Receiving multicast messages is about, after binding a socket to a port, the socket must join the group, that is with set socket option, that is IP address and address and membership. The value is of type struct IP address member request, that is net ID, and struct in IP address is member request, that is struct, that is the code that we have to mention there. Okay, so this is about the for receiving the packets in multicast messages. Okay, multicast over the internet is not available in the general internet. That is, in internet protocol, it is not generalized. Some experimental systems is about M-borne internet, that is already there in the market for multicast and uh, this broadcast. It is already in the market, M-borne or internet 2 or FSU. Okay, this is about the broadcast and multicast. Okay, and about the differences between comparison between the protocols is about the, it is we are discussing more about the different protocol, the more information about from the starting the protocols, that is data dissemination and gathering, routing challenges and issues, routing strategies for wireless networking and wireless station networking or routing techniques, wireless station networking, routing protocols comparison, protocol selection. Okay, so the purpose is, the main task of wireless sensor nodes is to sense and collect data from the target domain, process the data and transmit the information back to specific sites where the underlying application resides. Achieving this task efficiently requires the development of energy efficient routing protocol to set up paths between sensor nodes and so initially to send and receive the package. Before that, a path should be identified, path should be established, is considered, is taken by the energy efficient routing protocol. Is energy efficient routing protocol will be set up the path. Data dissemination and gathering. Data dissemination is a process by which data and queries for data are routed in the sensor networking. So in the scope of data dissemination, a source is the node that generates the data, and a node that is interested in data is called sink. As we know, what is syncing? Syncing is transmitting. It is the starting point of the sending that packet. Syncing, it is data gathering, is to transmit data that has been collected by the sensor nodes to the base station. Okay. Routing challenges and design issues. So, network scale and time varying characteristics are the densities of the wireless station networks may vary widely, ranging from very sparse to very dense. Here it is explaining about what is a sparse and what is a dense. Sparse is, it is a specific task, it is sending the packets to a specific route, a limited route. Dense is about, it is a ideal for sending the packets to number of the destinations. Get it the point? Sparse is a limited process of the packets to a limited destinations. Dense is where very dense is where the packets can send it is for more number of destinations. It is an ideal range, ideal path. Okay, dense is said to be. In many applications, the sensor nodes numbering in the hundreds, if not thousands, are deployed in an ad hoc and often supervised manner over wide coverage of areas. So, in these networks, the behavior of sensor nodes is dynamic and heavily adaptive. Is dynamic and it is about adaptive. Routing challenges are resource constraints. That is, energy is a key concern in WSNs, which must achieve a long lifetime while operating on limited battery reserves. Is it not? Limited, when there is a limited battery, that it has to be used, that energy to work on that should be in efficient manner. Also, the WSN wireless station network nodes have low technical specifications that must be taken into consideration when designing a WSN routing protocol. Okay, routing challenges. Sensor applications, that is data models. The data model describes the flow of information between the sensor nodes and the data sink. These models depends on the nature of the application, and the need to support a variety of data models increases the complexity of the routing design problem. If it is the more number of data transmission is taking place, there will be a complexity of the routing design. Okay, and routing strategies in wireless networking. What are the routing strategies? That is mobile wireless networks, ad hoc networks, and wireless station networks. Mobile wireless networks, that is MANET, okay, and ad hoc networks is a temporary networking for the area, okay, temporary networking area, and wireless station networks, which is using for the base station to transfer the packets. Ad hoc networks have several protocols like proactive strategy relies and reactive strategy and hybrid. We studied about proactive, reactive, and hybrid. Okay. Ad hoc networks routing protocols are not suited for wireless station networks. Is it not? Ad hoc networks are not suitable for because wireless station networks are established. Okay. So ad hoc networks tend to exhibit their least desirable behavior under highly dynamic conditions. New routing strategies are therefore required for sensor networks. Okay. Wireless station networking routing techniques. Flat networking architecture protocols in which all nodes are considered peers. Okay. Data center centric routing protocols use attribute based naming, whereby a source node queries an attribute for the phenomenon rather than an individual sensor node. Hierarchical routing protocols imposes a structure on the network. Location-based protocols where location information is needed in order to calculate the distance between two particular nodes so that energy consumption can be estimated. That is in location-based we discussed. Flat networking architecture protocols. All nodes are considered peers. All nodes are considered as a peer. A flat network architecture has several advantages, that is, including minimal overhead to maintain the infrastructure and the potential for the discovery of multiple routes between communicating nodes for fault tolerance. Between communicating the nodes for fault tolerance. As we have seen that flooding and gossiping. Flooding. In flooding, each sensor receives a data packet broadcast it to all of its neighbors, and this process continues until the packet arrives at the destination or the maximum number of hops for the packet is reached. Okay, so this is how the packet is transmitting. Okay, to the different neighboring the nodes, to the different neighboring nodes. Okay. Here you can see that A, B, C, D are different neighboring nodes and how the packets are sending from like in to all the nodes. The implosion problem node A starts by flooding is data to all of its neighbors, and D gets two same copies of data eventually, which is not necessary. See here D is receiving from both neighboring nodes, which is not necessary. And here what happens? Here C also is getting the same data from the different nodes, that is A and B. Okay, this is gossiping and flooding. Gossiping is a slightly enhanced version of flooding where the receiving node sends the packet to a randomly selected neighbor, which picks another random neighbor to forward the packet to and so on. Gossiping avoids the implosion problem by limiting the number of packets that each node sends to its neighbor to one copy. The latency that a packet suffers on its way to the destination may be excessive, particularly in a large network. Data-centric protocols is about it is related to the data. A source node queries an attribute for the phenomenon rather than an individual sensor node. The interest dissemination is achieved by assigning tasks to sensor nodes and expressing queries to relative to specific attributes. So different strategies can be used to communicate interest to the sensor nodes, and it also including for broadcasting and attribute based multicasting networking. Okay, so here in broadcasting data centric we can see that SPIN, sensor protocols for information via negotiation. The main objective of SPIN is to overcome the shortcomings of conventional protocols like flooding. So it minimizes the flooding. The basic property of this family of protocols are data negotiation and resource adaptation. Data negotiation requires that nodes running SPIN learns about the content of the data before any data are transmitted between network nodes. SPIN is it deletes the data which is not necessary, and it reads the data, learn about the content of the data before any data are transmitted between network nodes. Okay, to carry out the negotiation and data transmission nodes, running SPIN we use three types. That is, the first message type advertise, the second message type request, the third message is data. Advertise, request, data. Three steps are there in SPIN. Okay, so here in the basic operation in SPIN is how the data is transmitting that SPIN protocol. Node A, here you can see the node A starts by advertising its data to node B. Okay, so node A, before sending the packet, it is advertising that yes we have, and node B responds by sending a request to node A. Yes, okay, based on the advertisement B is requesting, and based on the request A is sending the packet to B. Okay, this is how the first operation will be performed in SPIN. Okay, SPIN, there are the SPIN versions, that is basic handshake sequence and SPIN EC. When a node energy level approaches the low threshold, a node running SPIN EC reduces its participation in the protocol operations. As we know, basic handshake sequence, when the handshake sequence is initiated, so it is like advertising, request and data. Okay, the second one, when a node is energy EC is initiated, approaches the low threshold, a node running SPIN EC reduces its participation in the protocol operation. Out of the three operations, it will be simplified and the transmission of protocol, the packets will be transmitted. Okay, and the SPIN BC, that is designed for broadcast networks where the advertisement signal will reach all the sensor in the coverage area of the source. And also SPIN RL, enhance its reliability and overcome message transmission errors caused by a lossy channel by periodic broadcasting of advertisement and requesting. This is about SPIN RL, losing reliability lossing. Okay, here SPIN BC protocol is operation in 6 and 7. Okay, directed diffusion, the second one is directed diffusion centric data flow protocols. Directed diffusion is a data centric paradigm for sensor query dissemination and processing that provides energy efficiency, scalability and robustness. So in contrast to SPIN, in directed diffusion, the sink is the node that broadcasts the request for a specific data throughout the network in what is called an interest message. A gradient can be thought of as a reply link pointing toward the neighboring node from which the interest is received. Okay, this is about the directed diffusion, how the data is transmitted from AB to CC. Directed diffusion protocol phases, that A is about interest propagation, B is about initial gradients that is set up, and C is data delivery along with the this is like also it is a like cluster, is it not? Clustering diffusion protocol phases, interest propagations, and the data is transmitting, delivery. Hierarchical protocols. So we studied about hierarchical protocols. It is the transmission of packets will be in a system. At the main aim of hierarchical routing is to efficiently maintain the energy consumption of sensor nodes by invoking them in multi-hop communication within a particular cluster and performing data aggregation and fusion in order to decrease the number of transmitted messages to the sink. Okay, and in hierarchical, first one is about leech. Leech, low energy adaptive clustering hierarchy. Low energy adaptive clustering hierarchy is one of the most popular hierarchical routing algorithm for sensor networking. The idea is to form clusters of the sensor nodes based on the received signal strength and use local cluster heads as routers to the sink. The main objectives of leech are extension of the network lifetime, reduced energy consumption, and use of data aggregation. Use of data aggregation. Okay, so clusters head change randomly over time in order to balance the energy distribution of nodes. We can see here how the leech is set up, okay, in which the cluster head selection is performed. You can see here the leech phase in this diagram: setup, steady, stable, and frame and interfere. How the frames packets are transmitting from clusters, forwarding, and stick for node and stick for node 1, 2, 3, like that, so on. Okay, the second one is the hierarchical, the second one is Pegasus. Pegasus, power efficient gathering in sensor information systems, is an improvement of the leech protocol. Rather than using a tree or star hierarchy as in the leech protocol, the Pegasus protocol uses chain hierarchy. Okay, it is like chain. So data aggregation is carried out by the chain leader. The chain leader 3 issues a token to the rightmost node, telling to it to send its sensing information. It is like nearby routing. It is sending the information, and it sends the information to node 6, where this one aggregates its information to and consequently until the aggregated information reach the node 3. It is so on like that. And node 3 issues the same operation to the leftmost node, and after having all the information from the left to right sides, sends the aggregated information. It is step-by-step process like chaining, okay, to the nodes. This is how the image, you can see how the packet is sending between the chains. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The packets are settled here. Okay. Next one is fourth one, location-based protocol in hierarchy protocols. The main objective of geographical routing is to use location information. Just now we said based on the location the protocols will be transmitted. And next one, geographic routing. Okay, it is based on the geographical based on the routing. Okay, how the nodes are connected and will be transmitted. Okay, this is one geographic routing, how the routing will be performed. Okay, wireless station networking routing protocols comparison. Okay, this is actually the topic today is about the comparison. The different routing algorithms. Routing protocols are flooding, gossiping, directed diffusion, leech, Pegasus, TIN and APTIN. Okay, so these are the different protocols are using with position awareness, scalability, mobility, power usage, data aggregation, query of sense. That is how the protocols are using in scalability, in position awareness. Okay, so this is about the comparison of routing protocols. Okay, this is also a routing protocol selection for particular applications in wireless station networking. Okay, this is about what we discussed today, and you go through with this. So if you want to know more about, you can mail me so that we can discuss. Thank you.